Just start the podcast that way. All y'all bitches take a shot. Just start like that. No context.
Welcome back to another episode of Otaku Outsiders, the beginning of season 3. Yes, you saw right. We got a guest in here, as always. We're going to do all that intro mumbo jumbo in a second. Not really much to worry about. There are a couple things that we did say in this episode that have kind of been a little bit outdated. Mainly some MCU stuff. But that's like towards the end. But we'd rather not get rid of something that we've worked so hard to craft together, put together, and then send out to you guys. So with that being said, thank you so much for dropping in, giving us a listen, giving us a like, giving us a follow. Send this to someone that might want to be interested in the conversation. To the episode. Welcome back to another episode of Otaku Outsiders. We have a beautiful guest with us today. Obviously, it's myself, D-Dog, Sage, Shadow, and our lovely guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Y'all seen him on the TikToks, on the YouTubes, on the Instagrams. My good sir, take it away.
All right, what's good with you guys? His name is Azid Inzi. Just like how my guy Dog has said, I am on TikTok. I also do YouTube on the side. And I'm just really thankful to be here.
Well, we appreciate you taking your time. A lot has happened since the last time that we talked, because we were going to do an episode a while ago, and for personal reasons, I'm actually kind of glad that you decided to take a rain check, because then it made me think a little bit differently of like, damn, how am I going to have guests on the podcast? And then ended up doing like a whole like mini series interviewing cosplayers, and it was like a great experience. I'm like, you know what, this is a little bit better. So iconic, So iconic media, we have all of them. We have movies like White Chicks. We have things like Power Rangers. Rest in peace to Jason David Frank. And I'm not gonna say something stupid like some other people on the internet have recently. That was.
Swear, if you know who they are, you can just drop they adding for me. You know, I'm just saying, make it easy for me.
We're not gonna mention them, but that was very
not their names, just their address.
I don't want to know the address because
I got the boots. I got the boots ready, bro. Just drop the location, please.
For me, it's like the fact that they had did that part, and like they was like, you know what? Out of everything in this podcast, we gotta put this clip on the internet. They purposely put that on there.
Well, no, it's so.
See, they made themselves a public enemy. They knew what they were doing. They consciously chose to upload that clip. At that point,
not only that, right? So they recorded, right? They approved it through the editing process. They then added captions to it, which you either A, have to manually type it, or B, run it through a program, which can take some time. And then they added like visuals to it. They added like some pictures and whatnot. I'm like, the audacity, like that. You took time and you're like, this is controversy. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just disrespected by that.
Yeah.
Shadow, I'm gonna be honest. You looking darker than Sage right now. I'm gonna need a light in the house.
A light in the house? Oh,
there is a light. Don't you see the Christmas tree?
Not the Christmas tree.
No. You see the Christmas tree? You said a light in the house, alright?
He knows what it's about. I'm here.
Listen, we'll go dark. Bravo 6.
Thank you.
So, in recent years, anyways, like when we look at media, whether it's movies, anime, manga, comics, there are these iconic moments or these people that become icons, right? You have Robert Downey Jr. He will always be Iron Man to a lot of people. Tobey Maguire will always be Spider-Man. I don't care if you want to talk about Tom Holland. We're not going to talk about Tom Holland because I don't want to waste everyone's time for 45 minutes while Sage goes on a rant talking about how he dislikes Tom Holland. All right? We're not doing that again. I sat through it once.
Good.
We're not doing it again.
Good. Long as we know.
And in terms of modern day stuff, I think White Chicks is probably a pretty iconic movie, mainly for its hilarity that it is.
That's only because only the chosen few have spread the word of white chicks. Let's be honest. Let's be totally honest. All right. I'm not sure. How old are you, bro?
Oh, I'm 20. I'm 20. I seen white chicks. Yes, I seen white
Oh,
chicks.
okay. See, he can actually speak on my behalf, understanding the age range. All right. Only the chosen few knew about white chicks before the rest of the world, before TikTok and everything else. All right. I'm just saying, you and Shadow, y'all get a pass. All right.
I remember
Yes, I
white
mean,
chicks on like regular cable. I forgot, was it on BET or I know they put it on TBS like years later, but I'm trying to remember if it was on BET because the first time I ever seen it, I was like 6 or 8, and I some of the jokes I didn't even understand. And as the years went by, I kept rewatching it and watching it and watching it, and
and
I was
then it
like,
made sense.
yeah, don't you know this is an all white party?
Get this jigaboo out of here. Oh my god, what?
Jigaboo mix. What did he say? I was like, no. Oh. Yeah,
So,
it's a. I would definitely say White Chicks is an iconic movie because they still want a second one to this day.
I don't know how we gonna get it.
Yeah.
We gonna need another wheelchair.
No, that inside joke is crazy. Oh my god.
oh my god. But that's also like, yes, you have your actors and your movies, right? Like Terry Crews. That's where I met Terry Crews, was white chicks. A lot of you modern day bitches got Terry Crews via Brooklyn Nine-Nine. No, white chicks. It's we different. We different. Um, like when you go further back in time, like the 70s, 80s, 90s, media consumption was vastly different from where we are today. Especially one, hi, camera, internet. Like we're connecting all over the country on a daily, all over the world. So as we continue to like look back at, like, yeah, you had Sailor Moon back in the day. I didn't even hear about Sailor Moon until a couple of years ago. I'm being hella honest. I'd never even heard of Sailor Moon. I'm like, what the hell is Sailor Moon? And then I look into it, and it's like, oh yeah, you have the dub and the sub, and that's where I think the whole argument of dub versus sub started. Because when you look at the dub of Sailor Moon, because America didn't want LGBT stuff at the time, they rewrote characters. They said, oh yeah, these two characters that in the original they're lesbian, they're cousins. I'm like, that's worse. But whatever. I'm gonna just let it slide. Um, Astro Boy, which I think that there's been more like spin-offs of Astro Boy than actually like seeing Astro Boy content. Like even when I go to like Newberry Comics, Books a Million, I don't see Astro Boy anywhere. Anywhere.
Because they've done a spin-off movie like when I was back in middle school, I think.
Yeah.
You know exactly which one
I
I'm
know what you're
talking
talking.
about.
I know what you're talking about. It was the one because I had it on DVD at one point. Because you could go to the library and you could just rent them out, and then at a certain amount of time you could just keep it. So it was the one where Astro Boy, he thought like like Pinocchio story, like, oh yeah, he thought he was a real boy,
He
and then out of
knows.
and then he saved people, and then out of nowhere he was like, wait, I'm a robot, and he just went somewhere completely else in the world, and then he was like with other robots, and it's like, no, we're not gonna accept you either. So they had to save the world or save that like part of the earth from like destroying itself. I remember exactly what you're talking about. I love that movie growing up though.
Okay.
But going into what like Dog had said, I do agree with that because a lot of people don't even know with like the original Astro Boy, there wouldn't technically be shonen constructs in shonen because Astro Boy is the first shonen series that actually like got finalized from anime and then to keep going with concepts. So it's kind of crazy how it goes from like Astro Boy to like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, all those other shows. But like their formula, I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and as like we continue to like progress, like Fists of the North Star, like when you see these big beefy men, right? You're like, man, what was popular in the time? World's Strongest Men. Like people were glued to the TVs for these competitions, especially with Arnold. I'm not even gonna try and say his last name. It's a theme at this point. It's not a
Yeah,
throwaway
don't get
gag.
canceled. Don't
Exactly.
get canceled.
Yeah. But like you can find like clips and videos and even like the documentary that he did during World's Strongest Men, like Fist of the North Star, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, um, which I'm not gonna talk about them right now because I'm personally just disappointed at how slow they are releasing the manga, the dub anyways, because the manga is currently on like part 9 and we're on part 5 of the manga being dubbed. Though it's been out since the '80s, and I'm like, yeah, we too slow. We're not gonna talk about this. But right around the same time of like Fist of the North Star, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, there's Dragon Ball, right? And I didn't realize that Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were written so close together. Like literally, the moment Dragon Ball ended, Dragon Ball Z started. And then once Z ended with what was the last saga? The Buu saga.
Majin Buu saga.
Yeah. Then once that ended, we stayed years, decades without any actual Dragon Ball content until GT, which is filler.
I thought it was canon.
It's filler. Well,
No. I know it's filler for the most part. It's literally like a mini Naruto. I think that's where the blueprint came in. I could be wrong,
So
but
there's an
there.
interview that the creator recently did, or he did a while back, where he's like, all parts of Dragon Ball are canon because they exist in their own universe. So
Exactly.
it's like, and there's like I think it was like more like a fan made, like how there's fan fiction of books and movies, how like someone went and made like a fanfic version of Dragon Ball where there's like they're having a tournament style battle, which is probably where the idea for Dragon Ball Super came in, where it's like here's a tournament of power, and here's all these universes. So it's like they exist because there is a multiverse. Um, to an extent, there's like a multiverse.
We not gonna get into that conversation
Nope,
about credit. We're
nope,
not gonna
nope,
touch that.
nope. We not we not because I
Nope.
remember a Yu-Gi-Oh thing right now. Neither here nor
Nope.
there.
Nope.
So for you to understand, it's back in the day, Sage believes he was like, hey, yeah, no, the pendulum monsters. It's a great idea. Like he actually got it, drew it, and then he sent it to whoever is a publication company for the cards. They're like, oh, thank you for your submission, but like no, and then they still made the monsters anyways.
Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, Sage? If you did make that arc, I just like to say that arc was actually pretty good. I did like it. Uh, so if Yu-Gi-Oh! Themselves did take that one, they kind of screwed up because how you gonna have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Multiverse without the Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist? I'm just gonna say that. You got every side character, but not a single main character. That's all I got. That's all I gotta
But
say.
you know where they fucked up on with that. But that's a whole different story for a different
They
day.
would have made so much money if they just brought like at least one of the other main characters. So much money.
Oh, you know what it was.
Yeah.
The last thing I saw was GX. Haven't didn't
Oh,
and
GX was going crazy in Arc 5. I promise you that.
Yeah.
I got too much stuff on my plate for me to go and watch another like series. Like Yu-Gi-Oh just got like way too many episodes. I'd rather catch up
Don't
on
say it
everything
like it's
too.
One Piece now. Like
It kind of
this
is. Yu-Gi-Oh kind of is now because they're already on like their eighth Yu-Gi-Oh anime now. It was Yu-Gi-Oh 7s 2 years ago, and now there's like Yu-Gi-Oh Rush. So like they're on like eighth anime.
Wait. Rush. I,
Yeah.
wait, I thought Rush and Seven were the same thing.
Nah, seven just finished like the start of this year, and they're like, you know what? We ain't gonna stop. We gonna go on another. We gonna make another anime.
Oh,
So
I
right
see it
after
right here.
seven finished, they went to Rush.
Hold on,
Yeah,
wait, but I thought
seven.
Rush Duels. I thought Rush was because of Rush Duels, and that was in Sevens. Unless I'm tripping.
Nah, because it's Yu-Gi-Oh, GX, 5D,
How many
Zetsu,
Yu-Gi-Oh series is there?
Arc 5, Reigns, 7, and then the newest one, which is Rush, or it's called Rush Go. So that's, yeah, there's 8 Wait, yeah, there's 8 anime right now
If you give
for
me
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Is
1 second, I
is
can
it the
actually
same
pull it up.
main character though?
I don't
For
believe so. Nah.
Oh,
is it
it
like
actually should.
the son or reincarnation or what?
Wait, let me
Because
pull this up. I gotta pull this up. I gotta show you. Oh, never
So,
mind.
so there's this, right? So Yu-Gi-Oh, which takes place in 2000
Oh,
to
I know the YouTube.
2002.
oh yeah, we've seen the
GX is
timeline.
yeah. So 2012 to 15, the weird little like branch off, right? So there's Zexal, 5Ds, Arc V, and that's like all I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, that's from a YouTuber who made that video like 4 years ago. I know I seen his video on it because I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh guy. Well, at one point I was. Wait, Yu-Gi-Oh. What is it? Rush.
I gotta do some homework.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh Rush is a Japanese anime series by Bridge. It is the 7th spinoff. It aired April 3rd of this year, 2022 to present.
And nobody's giving me any heads up. Okay, I see how it is. I'm gonna have to make some phone calls to my sources.
Wait, why do they have a series called Yu-Gi-Oh 7th? Then you know
That
what? I might take it back. I think
No.
Go Rush is a continuation of Yu-Gi-Oh 7. You might be right. Yeah.
Yeah, because at least on the Wikipedia, when you like go all the way down, it's Yu-Gi-Oh the original, GX, then 5Ds, Zexal,
okay.
Arc V, V Reigns.
Brains.
That's typo. And then
Just, no,
seven.
no, you gotta butcher it to say it properly. That's the funny part. You just gotta butcher it. Just say it all the way through.
I refuse. There's
I know it sounds crazy. I don't know why, but it just works that way. But then after brains, there's sevens, right?
Yeah. I typed Rush. So it came up Rush for some reason. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe it just didn't come out yet or
It
something.
when I started typing it, hold on. U P O. Yeah, so it says Go Rush. Um, they're on episode 35 as of right now.
35.
Mm-hmm. Last episode
Yeah.
came out November 27th.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, sevens is Go Rush. I think it's a translation error or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm seeing it now on one of the. Yeah.
But that's crazy. They're on their 7th Yu-Gi-Oh anime.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
a
it's
lot.
still making money though.
Yeah.
Definitely. Um, Speaking of
Oh,
Yu-Gi-Oh and like the seventh or eighth iteration of it, Pokemon as well. These bitches are on Generation 9. I'm sorry. I know Charizard, Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle. Those.
no, you
Man.
know more.
I,
You know more.
I know more now, but like back in the day, like the what 151 was the original one or something like that.
Yeah.
That was my shit back in the day, and I was like, all right, cool, done. Story done. He lost. Okay, bye bye. No, they continued all the way. Ash finally wins after 25 years. He's somehow still 10, and he
No, he's
wins.
18 now. He's 18
Nah,
now. Or was that fan made?
nah, I was upset because they made him like 12 and XYZ. Like he had a birthday. Next Yu-Gi-Oh series, they're like, yeah, let's reset that. Let's make him 11 again. I'm like, what? Oh, no. No. They made him younger.
Benjamin Button! Benjamin
Oh my God.
fucking Button! I promise you. It's like, he got older, then he got younger, then he got drastically younger, and what you call it, from Sun and Moon to Sun and Moon Part 2. Then he got somewhat decent in the Journeys anime. All right, he got a little bit younger again, and then just souped up and bossed up to finally get the dub. I was like, what? Okay. But we got to celebrate for the one time, what's that song? Play Jarvis, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, he finally did it. He finally did it.
But you know what? Reset. He didn't do it again. He got to do it again now.
I'll be damned.
They be like, Ash, you never did this. You remember this? No. You got to restart.
And you know what the crazy thing is? They've already done that the first time. He was like, "Oh shit, I forgot I am the Alola region champion." It's like, nigga, how you forget? You beat your dad. You beat your legal father, okay?
Wait, his dad's
I
not
remember.
dead? I thought his dad was
No. So not his biological father, but in the sub anime, you saw that. What's her name? Is it Darla? What's Ash's mom's name? I know it starts with the D. I know she always. She always messing around with Professor Oak and Mr. Mime, right? I forget her name, but pretty much when she sent Ash off on the plane to go to the Alola region, she was like, "You better take care of my son as if he was your own," and that was before he even got married to Professor Bernadette. So like, that's his foster slash adopted family. I don't know how to count that. But like Professor Kukui took him in under his wing, was like, "Yeah, you gonna go to school. Here's your new classmates. They also gonna be like your brothers and sisters because everybody's like a cousin because it's based on Hawaii." Then he come back, he like, "Yeah, you got a little brother now." He was like, "Wait, I'm a big brother now?" Yeah. Pull some little Daniel Tiger shit. I was like, okay.
Big little brother.
This is how like normal recordings go. Don't worry too much about it. We just like divulge. Don't worry about it. It's but try and get into like the meat and the potatoes.
Yeah, no,
What
I
is
wasn't.
iconic?
I wasn't done yet.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
Now it's my turn. I just
Oh.
can't wait. I saw that you got that champion. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I just can't wait for him to go home, celebrate with his mom, probably turn 12 or 13. see that Oho bird he saw in the beginning of the original Pokemon. Wake up, boom. That shit never happened.
I'd be so upset if that shit happens. I would be like, "You fucking lied to me."
I don't know how people could be a fan of Pokemon for that long. I can see why people was a fan of Pokemon for that long, but I would be livid if he didn't. I would be livid. Be like, because I was upset. I'm not like, I like Pokemon, but I'm not like the diest hardest fan. And I was upset when they reverted his age back after he actually had a birthday. So I know whoever that was watching from day one, oh, they pissed. Oh, they pissed.
I learned to let that go. But you know what stung me the most?
No, because he had a girlfriend. I can't let that go.
That's the whole thing right there. The Kalos League. The whole Kalos League arc. Yes, Ash had a girlfriend.
You give Ash a girlfriend? Yup.
Serena, all right,
Yep.
even though she ain't really a day one anymore, all right, I'm just say that my opinion, Dawn was the best girl. We could talk about Pokeship in a whole different day, but Dawn was the only one. Dawn was the only one to show up for the final battle. I was like, okay.
Serena was there when he was fighting like a legendary Pokemon. Like what?
My whole thing was,
She
I'm
gave
like,
him a Pokemon.
okay, but I'm still expecting her to show up and be like, yeah, I've technically been here since day one. Plus, I'm the girlfriend. All right, let me fly out from Kalos to go see my man win, right? And she didn't do that.
The series ended though. The series ended when Ash took her to the airport. They kissed, and then she went on her flight. That's how the series ended.
No, I remember her. No, I know that's a big dub right there. I'm talking about in the latest anime, him versus Leon. I'm like, why is Serena not here?
Because you know people don't care about true loves. You know they don't care.
Listen,
you lose again. We need some more money, Ash. We don't need you. We don't need the Serena. We need you to beat this Pokemon.
You can still beat that ass and still get some later. All right, it's a double beatdown. I'm just saying.
Crazy.
Sometimes you just gotta provide the. I'm just saying. Hold
on. If Ash was like someone's age in like MHA, I don't think anyone would complain. Cause they're like, oh, that's a teenager. That's when they start dating. dude's 10. You're like, yeah, no. So he could clap them cheeks in the
Yeah.
battle, so he can go still clap some cheeks later. I'm like, he's 10. Why are
Doesn't
we doing
matter.
this?
That's the actual series. X, Y, and Z was the series they actually gave him like two ages up. They actually made him 12 in that series.
Exactly.
Because that man was on a world journey. That man, they literally they aged him up crazy. They like, hey, we need you to get a newer jacket, a newer hat. We need you
Gave
to
him
come up
a new print.
a new.
Everything.
We need everything to be better than ever. I was like, okay, X, Y, Z, kind of cool.
Then they came out with Ash Greninja and he just dropping bodies left and right. And I'm sitting here like, this nigga, he embodies fucking Naruto right now. The water Shuriken turning in looking like the Rasen Shuriken. We watching the fourth Great Ninja War at the same time if you were keeping up with the Naruto anime. Because you know it's towards the end. You seeing Naruto saucing it up with the two things. So you like, hold on, double hands. Just and then they do that.
Adam and Smash Bros.
Oh, we are not going to talk about that because there's a whole reason that the like Smash Bros thing is like being stopped because like that's just been like it's like all these people but they didn't.
Oh
get the
yeah, you're
licensing.
right.
They didn't get the licensing for it. However, this one company they went and snitched on the other place because they wanted the licensing for it so they could actually get properly sponsored and whatnot. And then Nintendo like goes and says there's no more nothing. I was like, the fuck y'all doing over here?
I mean, besides the licensing issue, because that could have been easily resolved. You know what the real reason behind that shit was, right?
Petty bitches.
I mean, with reason.
Oh, then.
Licensing wise, no. The other reason, yes. To all the viewers, please take a goddamn shower. All right. Please take a goddamn shower. Okay, I'm just gonna say it one more time for the people in the back, and then can I get an amen afterwards? We can even get the Lord's prayer in there. All right, please take a goddamn shower.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey,
You're nasty.
just start the podcast that way. All y'all bitches take a shower. Just start it like that. No context, and it boom.
Just
You can't put that at the beginning.
yes, you can.
No, he's gonna. No, he's gonna. He's gonna go look at. He's gonna go look at the analytics and be like, "How come people stop watching after the first 15 seconds?"
Because all bitches ain't taking a shower.
They stop what they're doing to go take a shower.
Yeah.
If they taking a shower, they gonna keep watching. They gonna be like, you know what? He right. Let me keep watching. Let me get some soap.
That's the beauty of the podcast. We is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, so you can listen to us on the go. And then if y'all want to sit down and watch us, you can more than welcome to. But if you're gonna take us into the shower with you, audio only.
You know what? Let me go demonstrate how that shit get done. Hold up. Right? You see this? We gonna call this my towel. You take your phone, you turn that shit on max, and then you just walk out. Okay, it's that simple.
See, people can never laugh.
That's going to be the beginning of the podcast episode. Be like, y'all dusty bitches. Y'all need to go take a shower.
There's gonna be that one guy that's trying to listen to the podcast in his car on his way to work during high traffic, and that's the first thing he hears is go take a shower. He's like, I already did. I'm trying to get to the office on time.
No,
oh no, we're not going to even talk about the one that has the whole family in the background.
Ooh. Wife's gonna be like, what you listening to this? This trash.
Did you take a shower today?
Gonna be like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to sleep on the couch tonight. I had to say it, you know.
Our bread and butter. You have the big three. Naruto with his stupid ass run. Bleach with their Bankais, which is awesome, which also inspired Jujutsu Kaisen and Domain expansions. You can't tell me otherwise because they are basically the exact same thing. You have obviously Yu-Gi-Oh cards from Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokeballs from Pokemon. I feel like the biggest most influential thing is gonna be the Kamehameha from Dragon Ball. Being honest, because
It's already proven
as
fact.
as a Latino, I know these young kids. They know, and it's all like I was talking to my dad a little while ago, and I was like, yeah, no, I have the thing, and like, no, here's my logo for it. He's like, oh, that's Dragon Ball. I was like, yes, Dad, we remember, because my dad doesn't watch that stuff anymore.
Going back into the topic of like iconic, like with the Dragon Ball Z, like it's a signature technique that I think it's a multi generational thing. Because I had this conversation with somebody else before about two reasons like why Dragon Ball Z is so iconic, and then I did a video about like why Latin Americans love Dragon Ball Z. And doing the research for that video, I found out the biggest reason for that is because it is literally a multi-generational anime. Like when it came to OG Dragon Ball within Latin American community, because they're actually one of the biggest fans universally. Like even arguably, maybe even bigger than Japanese audiences when it comes to Dragon Ball Z, because when they was watching OG Dragon Ball, they all watched it. Some of them watched it as a family, and then when Z came, oh yeah, before when Z came, it was almost no breaks. And also within the Latin American community, it was on weekly, like it was weekly instead of just being like, okay, in America we got Toonami, we're gonna watch this every Saturday. This was almost like an everyday show that you can watch because it had no breaks, barely any censorship, if any at all. And then imagine you just coming home one day and you be like, oh, that's the end of Dragon Ball, and then the next week or the next day you're gonna be like, okay, we about to start Dragon Ball Z, and it just kept going from there. So it was no breaks. While in America we have people who like probably watch Dragon Ball Z, like our family members, like our dad, our granddad, something like that, and then later on maybe we watch it when Z came out instead of OG Dragon Ball. So it's like a difference there. So that's why I would say it's a multi-generational anime, and it can be iconic because of that alone. From that,
Valid point. Valid point. I was about to piggyback off of Sosa, but like now that I think about it, the way how you explained it, that's two reasons in one technically. Because yeah, my uncle, he saw the original Dragon Ball and then he introduced it to me. But while I'm coming up, I saw a little bit of Z because it was still on Cartoon Network, but then it switched over to Toonzai and 4Kids, not Toonami, but Toonzai, if you know what I'm talking about, in the morning. And going back to what Sosa said, the Kamehameha wave is just iconic everywhere. Okay, you've seen it with Ash, you've seen it with High School DxD. They've made references to Dragon Ball. They've even placed it in freaking Fortnite. At that point, I have not seen that anime still. I know. I've been slacking.
Towards the end of the season, one of the characters is voiced by the guy that does Hercule, and then he says Kamehameha, and he's like, "Well, I've always wanted to say that." I was like, "I bet you have. I bet you have been hearing everyone else like Sean Schummel yell Kamehameha, but you can't say it because you don't got the power."
Oh, and that's the thing we do at cons too, right? If you just hear somebody start screaming, everybody else joins in on that shit. Have you done it before? It feels amazing, by the way. You've never done it? Have you done it, Shadow?
Oh, snap. Hold on.
He went dark after I asked him. That's crazy. Have you done it?
I mean, I haven't been at a con doing it, but I mean,
well, out in public in general.
Oh, of course, I do it just to annoy the crap out of people.
No, not like by yourself, but I'm saying when the whole crew is there. I'm saying,
oh
just
yeah,
hear the ha, and then you the background, so then you like, oh, it's similar to that call.
You try saying that in a junior high or high school, you gonna have all them kids act up.
That brand new whiff of, oh, it's time.
I'm sorry, you get what's still in your hand to say.
Listen, I can't sling the cards right now. They still got me on lockup for Dragoon. All right.
But
Mm-mm-mm.
are there any like other iconic things from like anime or movies, anything that you feel like, hey, nothing will like surpass this, like in in terms of like comedy. Again, I'm going with White Chicks because I think it is absolutely hilarious and a cult classic. Don't get me wrong, Tropic Thunder's okay, but it's not White Chicks.
As far as anime, just the theme of having monsters battle it out in general, that's iconic and will never leave. And I honestly think we do have to thank the primordial ones, such as Godzilla. If it wasn't for Godzilla, I don't think we would have, honestly, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Chaotic, Masuno. Because you got to think about it. It's all literally the same thing, just with their own different style to it to make it better. But who was the original like top dog? It was the Godzilla series. I hate to say it because I'm stuck around kaiju fans. Hell, they even put kaiju's as an arc within everything. It's like, oh, we got to go to the primordial ones. Even Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you look at Scarlet's version, everything's the paradox of the past. So instead of fighting Titans, you're fighting Paradox. Like dumb fan is called the Great Tusk. So if you look at it now, the Komodo dragon, that could literally be like real life Godzilla. We've even seen it within natural history, like in real life. Looking in the museums, you see that some of these creatures, if they were still living on this earth today, if the meteor ain't hit, we'd probably be fucked, being honest. Unless we're gonna call the Power Rangers and say, hey, let's do this shit. We got to clear out the
Can
place.
can we resurrect Tommy? That that'd be nice. Matter of fact,
Oh, for real? We about to do
hold on,
it?
hold on. Let me
I
add.
got some
silent.
blood.
I
Jason
got
David
silent. I
Frank
was like,
is
oh no.
definitely Jason David Frank is definitely like the most iconic Power Ranger out there. Like
I'll
he's
definitely do it
100%.
for him. I'll definitely
100%.
do it for him. Don't get me wrong. Now, Paw from Ninja Storm, I love him. I love him to death.
Yeah.
ninjas.
But
Yeah.
if it had to be a choice, I got the fork ready. We about to sacrifice some blood. We about to do this reanimation jutsu.
No,
Get
I
your
can
hands
agree
ready.
because I never seen, or I should at least say, I never seen all of like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like the original series. Like I'm 20 years old, but I wasn't born when it came on in cable because we didn't have like recordings back then until like 5 or 8 years ago. That's when it would be like, oh yeah, I'm about to record this show, or I'm about to watch it on stream. But um, what was it? So I watched my first introduction to Tommy Oliver was really when I had seen him in Power Rangers Dino Thunder. And then,
Yeah.
yes,
Right there.
Yes.
but the thing is, I have heard his voice so much, and even when I was watching the show, I was like, who is the iconic Green Ranger? Who is this person behind the suit? Like I would hear it or see it so much, they'd be like, best Power Ranger all the time. And after like a couple of years after watching that show, I was like, wait a second, Tommy Oliver. And then he was fighting his past self in the episode, like the original Green Ranger. I was like, wait, he's the original Green Ranger? Like so then it started to click. I was like, oh yes.
Wait,
no
so
matter
you
where
didn't see
go-
that one episode?
No, like I'm being dead serious. Until
No,
started
so
fight-
he got
what?
captured before
Yeah.
he became the Black Ranger. You saw that episode. You had to have seen it.
No,
You can't.
I was talking about when he was fighting himself in like the hallucination. He was fighting himself.
Oh, you
Yeah.
talking about that one?
Yeah, and then I was like, wait a minute. So this is the original Green Ranger, and then so even without like knowing who it was, I've heard the original Green Ranger and Tommy Oliver so much that I could just tell like, yeah, that is one of the most iconic Rangers. Because from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I don't know any of their other names other than Billy, and that's it. That's the only reason.
Billy is the laughing goat. So you gonna know Billy. It's like, damn,
Yeah.
Billy. You so smart, but you can't pull nothing.
Yeah.
So
but
that's
I just never hear Billy like associated with anything Power Ranger-y. It's more like, oh yeah, a smart character who's a Blue Ranger, Billy. That's it. That's all. The only time I hear
So,
him.
so part of that, I don't know if you know, because you're 20. But part of the reason why he left the Power Rangers was because
Yeah,
he's one, he's gay, and two, he suffered a lot of bullying via like the cast and crew, from who, don't know, but like at the time, and it's like, damn, y'all be messing with like one of your own people, because you're doing this show that's like one of the people that like your family basically, and you're just like doing a level of disrespect and disservice. I'm actually glad that with the new series that's coming out, he's coming back. I was like, yes, like let's give him a proper light to shine on, because they did well with like all other Rangers. They gave what's his name, the original Red, August Saint John or whatever it is. He
Yeah, Jason, he's had his
yeah,
time, being
yeah,
honest. All right. He tried taking Tommy number 2. He can't do it. I was honestly expecting Billy to do it, and here's why. Because, like, even after he gave up the suit, he was still there for the team, regardless. He was being bullied. I just found that out today. But honestly, even to sit through that alone, and then for the show's sake, say, hey, I'm going to just help from the sidelines. Nah, give my man his respect. Because without him, I don't think half this shit would have gone.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
You guys are right because I did hear the bullying thing. That's really what made me remember Billy is because of that aspect about what happened. But I do like within this new series, like how you had said, dog, is that they are trying to like make like I guess retribution or like bring the older characters more recognition that they didn't get, such as like how um, the original Green Ranger did, because they even brought back they got a concept now that Trainee's daughter, the original Pink Ranger that passed away, like that the new Pink Ranger is her daughter in the newest series to give her like a tribute. And one concept that they're thinking about is like who was the dad? Like was it who on the team who was the actual dad? So we get to see like a Ranger setup for like a family thing that we normally don't see.
yeah, no, definitely. And that I feel like with them introducing or technically sorry, reintroducing characters of old and like bring them into like more modern day, um, I feel like that's great. And I saw a clip of an interview that August St. John or whatever his name is that he did. He's like, well, Jason David Frank like apparently like doesn't want to be on Power Rangers anymore because like, oh, it's a kids thing. Like he wants to do more mature things. Completely understandable. But I feel like if they bring back like a few Power Rangers like per season or like do more cameo stuff, I feel like that's like a more not respectful thing, but it's more like a hey like is especially like they still have like good rapport with like show and showrunners and whatnot. I feel like that's a great way to like help bring old fans and new fans and kind of help keep that generational thing going, just like with Dragon Ball, but also with Power Rangers. And I'm
Yeah.
going to admit, Jason David Frank was at Rhode Island Comic Con. I just missed the opportunity to get his signature, so I will forever live with not being able to do that. I was like, you know what? I forgot about him. I'm going home right now. You know what? Next time.
And a week later,
Seize the day, bitches. It's a great
yes.
thing. Live in the moment. Um, are there any other iconic things that you guys have? Shadow,
Yeah,
you've been
yeah,
pretty quiet.
that that right there can make a good transition because you said seize the day to talk about Robin Williams, which is really
Ooh,
iconic in the comedian slash movie world. Probably won't get another one like him again.
I agree with that. It's when whenever I like I was binging Friends. I know you guys know this.
Yeah.
You don't know this one, but I was binging Friends with my girlfriend a couple of years ago, and they always have cold opens for those shows. So I was like, all right, like let's just watch it. And then the cold open with Robin Williams happens because him and the other guy that like just hopped in, they were doing, um, like filming for whatever it was, and like they were just like on their break, and they like decided to hop in for the cold opening. It was beautiful. because Robin Williams was crying. He was making you laugh. I was bawling. I was like, you know what? I need to watch Birdcage. My girlfriend looked at me. She's like, the hell is Birdcage? I was like, the most iconic drag queen movie of all time that probably helped RuPaul help put his face on the map and whatnot. And it's a great thing with I forget who what's the co-star's name. I think it's like Nate something. And at the time he wasn't out the closet yet, but I was like, I feel like he's gay. And then I like looked it up, and I was like, apparently the promotion that Robin Williams and who would be his partner in the movie, they were like doing press stuff that you do on talk shows, and Oprah was very much pressing, be like, oh, like, are you gay? And he wasn't ready to be out in the world yet, and like when you see how Robin Williams acted, he's like, oh, that doesn't matter. Like, you know, we're here promoting the movie. I don't care, like, you know, the sexuality. That has nothing to do. We're here promoting the movie, and I was like, damn, that's very powerful. So let's go cry and listen to one of his comedy specials.
I heard that part coming before you even said it. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
The tears already started rolling. It was just like,
I just like to clarify. I have seen Friends with Phoebe, Chandler, all of them, Joey.
oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of
Listen,
course.
listen. Friends got us
I'm
through
young.
high school.
I'm young, but I have watched a lot of older stuff.
I feel like Friends paved the way for How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, because
It did.
this is a little side piece, but there's actually what was it? It was this one show that Queen Latifah was on. I forgot. She was on, and it started right before Friends. I think it was something with roommates, or it wasn't Living in Color.
No, where it's Queen Latifah and two other black females, and they were
Living
living
Single?
in an apartment.
Yes, yeah, that's the show.
We are living.
And like they actually talk about, and I know this is a little sidebar, but like they actually talk about how their show started first within the same television network Friends was in, and the process of it, because there's actually like articles. Queen Latifah and the other two female actors came up and they talked about it, and it was like, hey, Friends is basically the more Caucasian version of In Living Single. And they actually went up. Yeah, they actually went up to the actors, and the actors was like, "Hey, I don't know who you are." They thought they were just fans, but the thing was, without like Queen Latifah's show, In Living Single, there would be no Friends, and a lot of actors don't know that, like, or people don't know that, like, without the original concept, because they literally just took the same thing and said, "Hey, you know, let's just put this on the same studio network and let's see how it goes." And Friends is like one of the biggest, most iconic television shows. I could definitely say that part. Versus In Living Single, and some people don't even know In Living Single existed anymore. But it was like a really network breaking show at the time.
So
I mean, we took it and hit it.
Hold on, Living Single from 93 to 98, while Friends went on from 94 to 04.
Exactly.
You know, I actually kind of want to watch that now, because
You've never seen it?
I was raised in the church, my guy. I was raised in the church. My mom loved Friends, so we watched Friends, and I didn't like.
Take this man's card right now.
You know that
Shadow,
silence.
take it.
That silence that just happened out of nowhere. It was like, I gotta come up with an excuse real quick.
Shadow's just sitting in the back like, I don't want no parts of this. Take his card and you know which one.
You're done.
I mean, I have seen. Hold on, I'm just looking at like the movies and things that she's been in. I've seen Last Holiday. Love Last Holiday. I actually might watch that with my girlfriend because she very much loves Christmas movies. Beauty Shop, Chicago. Ooh, Chicago. Mad Money. That was funny. That was a very funny movie.
Oh, I thought you were trying to drop bars.
No.
We're bring down the house.
I've seen most of the Ice Age movies. I thought they only made 3. Apparently they made like 7. And yeah, that's like about it, because everything else I haven't seen.
You haven't seen Set It Off?
No.
Bringing down the house.
Another 2-week suspension on his card.
Actually, hold on. Is that the Meet the Parents? Yeah, Steve Martin. Maybe. Maybe I've seen Bring Down the House.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not 100% sure on that.
You can't tell me you haven't seen Taxi. That was Jimmy Fallon's big break.
I remember seeing like clips, but I don't like remember beginning to end.
You know what? I can't let him take the L solo on this one. I never seen Taxi either.
Oh
I'm gonna be
no.
honest.
I might watch it on like another day when I'm bored. Um, yeah, it's oh shit, hold on. So Friends not only help inspire How I Met Your Mother, but Big Bang Theory, forgot about them. The Office. Office was okay. Modern Family. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. I've been
Yes,
seeing
Sofia
a lot of
Vergara.
clips. I've been seeing a lot of clips from Modern Family, and I'm like, I slept on this bitch because there was one where
How did you sleep on that?
because I
It's
didn't
so
care for it. I
good.
didn't care for it at all. I was like, oh, okay, a show about white people. Bye. But no, I was seeing.
Oh.
Hold on, I was seeing a clip where it was at the gay guy's house, and they were having a party. Most of the guys there are gay, obviously. So this one woman comes in. It's like a quick, like 15-second clip. Uh, it's the interracial couple where he's like, "Oh, I can't drink because we have to drive to go see the Blackhawks game." And then Gage comes up. He's like, "I didn't know they could call teams like that, or I didn't know that like you could say that on public." He's like, "Black Hawks." He's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. I know where he was going. That's fine. That's cool." And then comes like this random woman. She's like, "Oh, do you have like any like regular plates because I don't like my child eating off plastic?" And he's like, "Oh, it's over here, yada yada." Gay guy turns back to like the posse. He's like, "Who is this woman? Like she's in my house. She's gonna make her own baby food, and like wow, that's so crazy." She comes back 2 seconds later, asks some stupid question, leaves, and then the gay guy from earlier that's like, "Oh, I didn't know you could call a team that." He's like, "Oh, how does she feed him without plastic with those? Like, meaning that like her tits are fake." And I started dying laughing. I sent it
It's a
to.
great show.
It's.
Great
It,
show.
I slept on it. I'm gonna be honest. I slept on it, but I have to find where
That's
it
what made me
is.
love Sofia Vergara again. Top tier celebrity. If we say that.
Top tier waifu. Gonna be
Yes.
hella honest.
Yes.
I don't care how old she is. She probably gonna look the exact same in 15 years.
I think she's like 50 now, and she still looks the same.
Is she really that old?
Yeah, she was in a lot of movies. She was in Tyler Perry movies. She was in a movie with Angela Bassett together.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was an old Tyler Perry movie, like one of the original ones.
Oh, a brownie for my brownie.
Yeah.
I've seen some Tyler Perry movies, not all of them.
she's 50 exactly, like exactly 50 years old.
Damn, that's right on the mark.
Yeah, she was born in 72.
Well, alrighty then. I mean, she still has that accent. We could do some things. I don't know why I said that.
The corner. All right. Shadow has been behaved this whole time. The corner.
I mean,
Go.
that's a beautiful, spicy woman. You're gonna look at me in my eye and tell me that's not.
We're not gonna say that, okay? It's the Gojo in the back is not helping your case, sir. I'm sorry.
I can't say that. I can't say that, but he can. So
The Gojo in the back is not helping. I'm sorry. The corner. Shadow, you must switch from the corner to the forefront now.
forefront.
Oh yeah, because you see, normally Shadow is the unhinged one, and once he gets unhinged, you know what we do? We just turn up for a little amount of time that we can before it's an instant switchback.
Sosa just disconnects me. That's just all he does.
I can't do that here. I would
Oh,
love to,
you.
but I can't do that
I
anymore.
don't know. I don't know if you should have said that then, because I'm waking up.
I mean, I can mute you. I can disable video, but I just can't kick you.
No,
So
you can
so
just go. You can just go keep the corner warm this time.
um
We
so
have guests. We have guests in the house of Otaku Outsiders. I have to behave, but then again, you're the host, so
behave.
you do you.
Uh,
Austin Powers is another pretty funny. I probably wouldn't say like really iconic, but it is very funny in the fact that it is a parody, and
yeah,
it's
I
not
agree.
being like redone over and over and over again like James Bond. James Bond is constantly being redone all the
I
time.
don't. I don't think you can redo Austin Powers unless you want to get canceled. I don't think in this day and age, I don't think anybody can redo Austin
Right?
Powers.
No, you
They did
can't
it.
because the movies are set during the like
You
what
can redo
90s.
the third movie, not the first two. The third movie with Beyonce. That's the only way you can remake. Because the first, you remember the breast lasers? You remember those? Yeah, yeah. You can't redo it. I promise you can't redo it.
Did you know that that's not CGI?
Really?
He there I forget I don't think it's GQ, but there's one like magazine brand or whatever it is that they will do interviews with like celebrities to be like, oh, your most like iconic things. They did one with Jack Black and like a whole bunch of other celebrities, and I saw his where he was talking about Austin Powers. What's his name? Michael Myers, whatever his name is. It's not the serial killer one. It's the actual actor.
Yeah, Mike Myers, not
Mike Myers.
Halloween.
Thank you. And he was like, yeah, so this is actually choreographed because CGI wasn't really a thing. So this took actually a lot of practicing to do that. I was like, oh, okay. And he even like talked very highly about like the whole cast crew, how like everyone was just like so like actually
Bro,
good.
Going back into like the iconic things in like shows or like just entertainment in general, I will say the Rasengan is one of the most iconic things that's out there in anime as well. The
I mean,
Rasen, I will say the
the character
Rasengan.
knows
bro.
two things plus a summoning jutsu, and he
Yes.
uses Rasen like what does he do? Multi Shadow Clone Jutsu, Rasengan. What does the Rasengan become? Rasen Shuriken, and then all the types. When he pulled out all the types of the Bijus, I was like, so he a Pokemon trainer now. You gotta catch them all. And
Exactly.
Even just hand signs. There were so many people doing hand signs at one point. Like
This is
everybody was trying to
why
practice.
Naruto is literally just gang warfare. It's literally gang warfare with magical ninjas, and niggas need to admit to it. All right. At the end of the day, all right. I even do this with my hotel guests, and my regional director. He looks at me crazy at first, and then he's like, "Oh wait, I realized what they're wearing and how they know." I was like, "See, yeah." I tell them all the time. I walk up, I see them wearing an Uchiha shirt. I'll be like, so you ain't gonna be in here doing that shit, right? And I literally say it like that. They're like, why are you being rude to the guests? I'm like, no, no, hold on. You don't see what this man repping right here?
Mm-mm-mm. And then just the phrase, that alone is a very iconic word. Just that alone is an iconic word. Just the word alone. Not
Listen,
even
I
like the
can't.
movement.
Pop Smoke made the song "Welcome to the Park," or was it "Shake the Room"? Right? Because it just once you hear those phrases, it's over. You just automatically sit there and you turn. People who don't know, they just be like, "Oh, that's just some random shit." But for the
Yeah.
people who do know, it be like, "Hold up,
no,
let's
I
calm
no
down
longer
now."
talk about Bleach on like my TikTok stuff because two of my mutuals like they started to get in on it. I'm like, we're just talking about fictional stuff and how I interpreted something. So like, let's not like. Obviously, when you like look at Bleach, and something that like I enjoy about Bleach is that they will take aspects from certain cultures, and like not revive it, but like give it a light that probably wouldn't get through like normal forms of media. So then you get like the Quincy's, and one mutual was like, "Oh, like sorry, the Quincy's Nazis now," and I was like, "I'm gonna be honest. When I saw it, when I was reading Thousand Year Blood War arc, because I ran through a lot of chapters very quickly, I was like, it kind of maybe, yeah, it's they're like a little bit too like, we are the pure ones, we are the ones that are going to rule all. I was like, it's a little bit, I don't want to talk about it. And then a different mutual was like, nah, man, you wrong for that. You're saying that all. I was like, what the hell? He's like, what you said is that all Bleach fans are Nazis. I was like, that's not what I said at
Not
all.
even close. Not even close.
No.
Like Kubo himself said, yeah, Quincy's are German. Are German. Espada
But that was
are Spanish. I'm saying the language.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm not arguing that, but it was just like the two of them were going back and forth, and they were tagging me in each other's like responses so that I could still see it. And I was like, you know what? This is how I handle this. This is how, like, I take my leadership skills that I've learned and honed over the years, flag down. Okay, this is how I read it. This is how I understood it. I have dyslexia. I have ADHD. You're gonna leave me alone. How I understood it. I'm not saying the Bleach fans are Nazis. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about Ichigo's hilt at the when his Bankai goes, because it looks a little bit aggressive. But when we look at history, it's actually a Tibetan good luck charm before it's. So
Yeah.
with
Y'all can't see it. y'all can't see what he just did. I gotta expose it. He did a little salute, and you guys can imagine what salute. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, I saw it. I definitely saw it.
I'm just everybody was like, "Why is there a pause?" That's why.
Listen, I ain't too far from the museum. All right, I went there when I was in 8th grade. I'm not sure where you from, but here in DC, we got all the museums, and there's one museum. I went in there. I walked out livid. I was like, mm-mm. So that's why I've been taking my time with the whole Thousand Blood Year War arc, because I'm like, Quincy's were originally supposed to just, in my opinion, because they did take from multiple cultures, as any anime or any show at this point does. They take it from multiple cultures, right? But the Quincy's, when they were first introduced, they just seemed like the Catholic Christians, you're gonna have to let that shit burn, like back in the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but with more power, right? Now it's looking like, all right, you kind of looking a little bit, Cold Warish.
I heard somebody say the Christian analogy before. That's actually new to me.
You haven't seen why the Quincy's are a little bit Christian?
No, I'm not saying I can't see it. I'm just saying I never heard somebody actually say that before. It was.
Well, I mean, because when you look at it, when Quincy's were first introduced, Uzui, his name, I mean, right? Oh.
You talking about the mixed around car Quincy dude?
No. The first Quincy that we met before we even found out that Ichigo was one. What's his name with the ball?
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
How's it?
Unahana?
Never mind, I ain't gonna pronounce my name.
No. But y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right?
I know you're talking about the one with glasses, right?
Yeah, the one with glasses.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at his chain, it's always a cross.
Uryu?
Uryu. His is always a cross. Then everybody else's, it's like the English cross from the medieval time period where it was really a square so it could fit on the shield, and similar to like what's it called? I'm forgetting it, but there was a time where the Romans, they just learned about Christianity, right? And it was the X and the P. You know exactly what I'm talking about now. Exactly.
Oh no, my jaw dropped because I just realized that Neil Kaplan is he voices the old man, the beard.
Yamamoto?
Yeah. And the sad part, I read Thousand Year Blood War arc, so it's like he gonna have a job for a little while longer, but no spoilers.
Maybe even more if we get to the Hell arc. No spoilers. No spoilers. I ain't gonna say nothing else. For anybody that's listening, don't worry.
But yeah, after seeing those similarities within the different pendants of what the Quincy's would wear just to hide their weapons before they take the spirit energy to transform, I'm like, these are all the same symbols used throughout the different forms of Christianity. That's why I was like, okay, Quincy's are Christians, and now that in the Thousand Blood Year War arc, I'm seeing them go a little bit German style. I'm like, do we need to call Captain America? like Shadow, you might have to come out for this one. I'm just saying, you know.
I mean, you did call out the name, so.
I'm sorry, you might have to take this one. It's not Red Skull, so I'll tell you that much. Listen, we'll put you with the Thunder Goddess. All right, she might let you hit, might not. Who knows? But at the same time,
That's not
Bro,
the mission.
so this part might get me canceled, right? So the finest piece of chocolate in all of anime is going to be Yoruichi. There's no debate about it. I'm not going to argue about it anyways. Y'all can. I refuse.
that's a different debate for a different day. All right, I'm not going to go
we're not talking
there.
about waifus, but like she is iconic. Like first, that is
definitely
a beautifully
that.
designed black woman. One and two, she's not a caricature. Where a good portion of media, especially like Dragon Ball, has more like caricatures of black people. So I feel like that's a step in the right direction. Is that like the only one? No, but like let's go in the right direction because I know in Thousand Year Blood War arc, shit gonna get spicy.
Yeah.
Very spicy.
Because Kubo, because I did a bleach fact about this, but like Kubo actually said her original name was gonna be Black Cat. Because like even when she transforms, she's literally a black cat. So that was gonna be like her English translation was gonna be like, what was it, like Yodo something? It was gonna be still like similar to Yodoichi, but it was gonna be like Yodo something that translates the black cat. So anybody that want to say Yodoichi's not black, creator himself just barely changed it. He said, I just want to avoid controversy. That's the only reason he said change the name from Black Cat. The only reason in his own interview he said that. So
Listen, you know what that means. You know what that means.
yeah. So anybody that want to debate that, go fight Taikubo, not me. No, don't do that, please.
Adam Sandler, definitely.
Okay.
All right,
I find him more annoying than iconic, but I do respect him.
that's where his icon comes from. His mad respect. All right, Jack Black, like how you said earlier. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
he's a legend, iconic legend at that point.
I will say, as a franchise, because we said it all earlier today, Pokemon. As a franchise Pokemon. As an anime alone, though, and maybe even a manga alone, then no. But as a full franchise, yes.
I mean, I'm gonna give a shout out to Seth MacFarlane because he's been having stuff going since 1999.
I just realized we never said what is iconic to us.
Is that Charizard?
No, this is a Slugma. It's the only
Oh.
one that's not with the.
I was about to say I might have to take a trip. You know, somebody been looking for something. I'm going to New York in February. I got to present something.
You can go to New York empty-handed, but you ain't. Nope. You
Listen, if it was that Charizard, I'm gonna be like, hey, 21. Can you do
something for me? Can you talk to the ops next for me? 21. Do you think? I feel like that's the spiciest like lyric I've ever heard come out of Drake. He's like 20, but he said it so soft too. It's like 21. Can you do something for me? Can you talk? And I'm
Twerking
like,
you see?
I've seen that video where someone like gave Drake like hoop earrings and just like a BBL and put him in like a cheetah print. It's like 21. And then just like starts grinding on 20. I'm like, this is the weirdest thing ever. I don't know why, but I'm here for it because this is hilarious.
But you know that's how you're supposed to serenade them now, all right? So now we gotta go up and be like, hey, whoever their name is, can you do something for me? I'm just saying.
I saw like the day before he released the album. He went on Instagram and just posted hecka hentai. I went to the Instagram. I think I felt very sad, not because Drake did it, but because I could recognize it. I was like, no, why? my friends literally texted me because I didn't know that Drake did it. They texted me. They was like, hey, I need you to look up something for me. Do you know what this is? I was like, crap, I do. I had to tell them what it was. They looked at me. They was like, "You disgusting bastard." I was like, "Damn." They wasn't even mad at Drake. They was mad at me. I was like, "Come on."
Drake got that universal setup.
Listen, for real. But then I followed his footsteps. You know, it's nothing like the book of Future and the book of Drake. You know,
Sensational.
See, I get a sensational. See, we need him here. Join the squad, bro. You want to join the squad? We post hentai on the daily. Well, not on the daily, but somewhat.
I'm crying.
Listen. We're not gonna talk about my contacts, but we do know some people.
If y'all want the hookup, go on hentai.net. I got you. That's the hookup. You got everything you want. No Naruto, bleep, whatever. This type of this.
Oh no, I have a designated sauce person. What I'm saying is, I just know.
Is that who you got all your stuff from when you posted the other day, where you're like, hey, be warned, and I'm like, here I am reading J.K. Haru was a sex worker in another world. Call girl in another world, and then I see that shit. I'm like, that's really aggressively. That's a whole ass penis. I'm not seeing nothing etched out, like pixelated in a manga. They pixelated a dick. I was like,
that's crazy.
We have gone too far.
Sensational.
you know, so sometimes you just gotta leave it there and see what happens. All right, I left.
For all my fellas out there, if you want a spicy regular manga, mind you, this is a regular manga, but it's still spicy. Read Plus Size Elf.
Yes. Woo!
For all my ladies out there, if you want something spicy as well, get Readway Healer. I'm sorry. Don't read Readway Healer. I'm playing on Readway. I'm playing. But Plus Size Elf, yes, for all my guys out there.
We got 2, 3.
This man
4,
came prepared.
5,
Guys, he has the full manga. That's what he's
6,
counting.
He counted
7 volumes.
Yes.
Like I gotta get to reading.
Listen, see, while you're reading that, I'm reading
Prison School.
Oh yeah, Prison School is good. Are we staying on the PG-13 side, or are we like actually transitioning?
That man actually got out of his chair, guys. I'm not lying to you. He grabbed the manga. Like, let's give y'all a mental picture. He got up from his chair, yelled.
Oh no, it's on video. This is still recorded.
Yeah, the yell was so loud that you couldn't even hear it, bro. Like, it actually broke
the sound barrier. It's crazy.
And
he just like 1, 2, 3 volumes. He kept going to 7.
So hold on. Yes. No one talks about Plus Size Elf. Why is my camera doing? It's because my room's too bright right now. Hold on.
I think you actually told me about Plus Size Elf, or you made a video about it. I was like, okay, let me go check it out.
Yeah.
And then like another video popped on my feed, and I was like, can you show this? Can you really show this on TikTok? It was just like 4 women stretching, and all you see is ass. Like I was like, what the? I was like, can you show this?
So
see, I got a book for you guys. You know, I got a manga. If y'all trying to read it,
hold on.
You know,
one thing that I cannot recommend for younger people. I'm a behemoth. This dude gets reincarnated as a S-class monster, and basically everyone wants him. Not everyone, but like what would be his owner, her friend, and this dragon that he slayed later. Like literally murked it. Boom, 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 boom. Call girl in another world. Cannot recommend to younger kids. Do you like big girls? Yes. Okay.
Is that literally the title?
Do you like big girls?
I know.
I would just
I'm
like to
I'm not
say,
meat. I'm not meat
I
is a decent one. Ladies on top. Okay, so that one.
I have been out nigga. I just want to say that I am officially, I am flabbergasted.
I do
the
think I do think something can be more iconic than Dragon Ball Z. I think the possibilities there. Yes.
um
See, yeah. See, this is
so no
that
so
facial
Oh,
hold on.
expression. This is where it comes in.
I
so
don't
so like, are we thinking the
hold on.
same thing? Because
Hold
we
on.
know who it is.
Let me say my part first. In
Okay.
essence of like longevity and like there being a massive gap between Z and Super because GT doesn't have an actual manga. The only thing that I feel like would be close would be JoJo's Bizarre Adventure
Mm.
Okay, okay.
because just because of the longevity. Yeah, there's One Piece, but One Piece started in the '90s, the late '90s, while JoJo started, I think, a year after Dragon Ball did. It was like they
Yeah,
started
in the
within like,
80s.
yeah, like they literally started like a year apart. So in like that essence, I feel like JoJo's is like the only thing, but because the every part the the MC changes, there's not like a lot of hold to it because after X amount of episodes, chapters, volumes, it's a whole new gang of characters. Um, but I don't feel now I'm curious to know what you guys think could surpass Dragon Ball in the
Sage,
title.
Sage can go right. Sage can go right at.
Ah, you see, I was just we in a reverse actually. We're in a reverse, and the only reason why is because it's like, all right, as soon as you hear that Gumma going on, everybody knows it's iconic. Whether it be the Gatling, the bazooka, the bullhorn, Red Hawk, Red Rock, you name it. Okay, we all know Luffy is going to be there. All right. Plus, at the same time, and it's no disrespect to JoJo's, being honest, but when it comes to the popularity alone, that's the only reason why One Piece will topple JoJo's when it comes to the iconic part of who's actually going to take over when Dragon Ball is done. Unless JoJo can like pull something,
JoJo's
I don't know,
one
and it
part
can do it. It
nine.
can definitely do it. Don't get me wrong, it can definitely do it. I'm just waiting to see what it is because right now we still got Oda, but at the same time, we don't even know what this man doing over here. He claims he's going to end the series in the next 5 years, but then who knows? Everybody already making the joke talking about, oh yeah, Oda, you're not gonna do One Piece Shippuden to us, right? Like we ain't gonna go through this shit. I'm sitting here like, hey, bro, let this be one and done.
So
The
there
ship has sailed.
there are some
But JoJo's, I can see being forever, like longer than Dragon Ball.
so
It's
the thing with like One Piece um and JoJo's and Dragon Ball, which I feel like in like their own right, they're all iconic because they all have like their like stands. JoJo's has stands and poses, but it's the thing that the writers are old, like aggressively old. So to have something continue to be that generational thing, like we talked about earlier, like like people our age have seen it. People like our parents' age, or probably even our grandparents' age, and like our kids in the future, like they can still see it. But is it going to be by the same writer? Is it going to be by the same author? And that to me is a very detrimental point with something, especially like manga, because at one point, if you go too far away or you pass it off to someone else, then that's like their whole new idea. And that's something that I feel like JoJo's does right, because with each new part, it's a new cast of characters. And in the community, we're just so used to new part, new cast, new characters. And there's a thing where like each trilogy, so parts 1 through 3, 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9, they all have like one overarching major theme. So that way, if you pass it off to someone else, as long as they continue that, um, like copy and paste, basically, like all right, cool, these 3 parts are gonna have this overarching theme, that fits into this, into that, yada yada yada. I feel like it can be done right. But the thing with One Piece, it's been one guy for so long. Same thing with Hunter x Hunter. So yeah, he could pass off the writing or he could pass off the mantle to someone else, but is it still going to be the same story? Because when you look at Berserk or something like 86 or any webtoon comic where the creator dies before the product is actually finished, what happens then? Do we pass it off to one of their underlings that like worked under them, or do we just let it go?
Yeah, that's the valid point, honestly, because we've seen where that has gone multiple times, and it has not gone in the right direction.
Boruto.
Oh no, not just Boruto. Speaking of the icon itself, again, I will never stop. Every time my mom asks me why am I so adamant about paying bills, it's because I feel like I wasted $5. Foreman Mills, I bought a DVD because we just moved to this apartment complex. And we didn't have the cable set up because it was just the day up, but we had the DVD player. Foreman Mills right outside, go pick a movie. That's what she said. You know what I picked? I fucking regret that shit every day.
Hold on, hold
And
on.
she's like,
We
let it
can give
go.
you a guess to what you think it is. It's a disappointment, and it's something that should have been great, but someone used it just for a paycheck.
Uh, I'm drawing blanks. I am.
No, 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 no. Don't draw blanks. Bring it back. Bring it back. We've been talking about icon.
Uh, I guess the only thing I can know is like, since we kept talking about the same thing, maybe Naruto, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh,
No, nope, 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 nope. It's not those. It's not those.
Dragon Ball GT,
It's not
Very
GT,
close.
but you're close. It's
Super,
no, no.
Z,
Evolution.
Ever.
It's Z.
Oh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
oh yeah,
See, we had to pull it out of the
yeah.
sacred vault of things we do not discuss. I'm sorry, but like,
I'd rather take Evolution over Death Note. Live action, live action,
Really?
live action. Because somebody's gonna comment. That's like, what you mean by that?
But like, what do you
like,
mean by that though? Because
like if we're talking about like, I'd rather take that Evolution was more like, even though they're both bad, Evolution was a better anime movie than Death Note was an anime movie. Because
really,
they made Misa be smarter than Light and actually trick him with the Death Note. And basically, Light was like a figure puppet type character versus how Misa was. Yeah.
but
So
that's
like,
the opposite dynamic. Are you
no,
telling me Death Note's
no.
movie was that bad?
It was more than that. It was way more than that. It
No,
was
are you
way more
telling
than
me
that.
it was that bad that it's worse than Z
They,
Evolution?
they had Light Yakumi being like a California school, similar like how they also did Dragon Ball, but they had him being like a California school. His first name was different, I think, but Yakumi was still his last name. It was like Michael Yakumi or something like that. So they completely changed it from Light Yakumi. It was like Michael Yakumi. They tried to make it very American. They changed up a lot of stuff, and the way of how it just went just didn't make sense. And instead of him using Death Note to like better people, I believe he only used it to students in high school. I believe. I believe that. It's on
What the
Netflix.
fuck?
It's on Netflix.
I'm not watching that shit regardless.
The
I
only
still have not seen it.
the only live action I can say I actually enjoyed so far from the ones I've seen, because it's very limited, is actually the Bleach live action. They got a lot of things right, and they set up for another movie, which I actually enjoyed a lot. Which I watched it like 3 times, and I'm surprised I enjoyed it. So first time was because I was like, okay, let me just give it a shot. Second time was I was showing somebody to watch it because they was just trying to get into Bleach. I was like, oh, okay, how do you feel about this movie? And I was like, I enjoy it. It brings up Bleach regular season 1 to 2. I was like, okay. Third time, I was just bored. I was just bored. But going back into the topic of like, for me, what can be iconic, right? Now, I think it's 2 ways of how. I do not think the next iconic anime, personally, will be a shonen at all. I think we're now in a generation of anime where we're getting so much, especially like how stuff is very similar to each other, Because if you look at Shonen Jump now, they're changing their own formula of how shonen is being produced because they realize that like, hey, we've been doing this for like 5 decades, 6 decades. We kind of have to change this up because some stuff is getting stale within like how they're making manga. Because some of the manga is either getting canceled very early, or a lot of people are just not that interested, and they're looking at other countries like webtoons, magua, stuff like that. And so I feel like the next big thing might actually be a different genre, and just entirely within anime. Because I'm not saying shonen is dead at all because it's a demographic, but I'm saying that the way of how we're looking at some of these anime and manga, we even notice that a lot of like the bigger ones that's blowing up now, like Jujutsu Kaisen, they're taking from like Naruto and Bleach, and it's just so much constantly that some people, not everybody, but some people is like, this is kind of a turnoff now. Like we're just seeing the same thing, rinse and repeat it with just some new ideas. And so that's why I feel like the next genre could either be slice of life, which is very debatable on that one, because some people would be like, slice of life, but there has been great slice of life anime. There's been Silent Voice, which is won awards at one point. Nearly every Studio Ghibli movie has it, people debate that it should be nominated for Oscars and Grammys, and Dragon Ball Z has not been nominated for something like that, but Studio Ghibli movies have, and a good number of them be focusing on slice of life elements, and people still love them, and some people cry. And a Silent Voice, and then there's just regular slice of life animes that's like they still do like the fantasy element because it's like anime, we can do whatever we want, but they have been still doing it where it's like, okay, we're gonna see the emotional side or the dark side or the physical side of all these characters. Like my bunny senpai, my bunny girl senpai. Y'all know it was a big trend on TikTok, on social media.
It still is. It still is.
Yeah, it's like we have guys dressing up as bunny girls. That's a serious thing. So I do think the next, and even though like it still dives into like the fantasy scope of like people's minds, at the end of the day, it's like a young adult anime with at its core with the themes and messages. My other thing, which because I know I'm talking too much, my other thing that I think it could be is either, like I said earlier, it will not be from Japan. That's gonna be the next biggest anime.
Do you think it's gonna be like a webtoon?
Yeah, I think it could either be a magua, a webtoon, or something of that sort. Because if you realize, and you like look at the statistic, a lot of people, especially in my generation and even outside of it, from multiple countries, are actually losing more interest in manga. Even though it's still higher than American comics than ever, it's still lower than how it normally been in recent years. And most of those fans been going to webtoons. They've been reading like The God of High School, Tower of God. They've been reading some of the romantic stuff, like what is it? My Unconditional Love.
Could be romance. It could be romance.
I feel like romance is a little bit better, especially when it's done right, like something like Love is War. First of all, those intros are bangers. They are beautiful. I have all of them on my Spotify. Like they are part of the gym playlist. Da 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 do. Oh, she yeah, it is. Like it's
yeah,
honestly very very beautiful, and it's the same guy that does all three. It's just the feature that's different. But and the story of it is so beautiful. Now, obviously, we're getting the movie to like cap off the show, but I feel like
wait, we're getting movie?
Yeah, there should be a movie because the show ended before the final chapters came out.
That makes me feel so much better now, because like because the way how they ended the show, I was like, I'm not satisfied. They just did Maid Sama all over again to me, and I refuse to read the fucking manga. I'm being honest. I refuse. I had to do deep research for that.
I think that there's like less than 30 chapters.
Yeah, a movie
like,
can get it
off. But it's like whenever people say like, oh yeah, no, slice of life, like a romantic thing, I just innately think Love is War, because the story it's actually very fluid and it flows very easily, which is something that I very much look forward in like manga or anime or movies is like the flowing of how it is. It can't be choppy, because if it's choppy, I don't want it. Like the pacing needs to be right there. So it's there's one manga I was reading, Blue Giant, which is actually going to get a movie adaptation in February, but there's only been like one trailer, and I'm like, I need more.
Yeah,
Um,
it ain't. My bad. I was about to say, and then going into like what I had said earlier with like the webtoons and stuff like that. From my other point, is that you see that some of these webtoons, they're getting anime. Like Japan is recognizing stuff that's not even Japanese, like mainly Japanese produced in the beginning, to be like, hey, we gotta look at this to make more money. Like this is something that could be even bigger than what it already is. We're seeing the evolution of that. But go right back ahead. I
Yeah,
didn't mean to cut you off.
no, that's actually like a perfect way to like tie them both together, because when you look at Tower of God, we only got 12 episodes, and the breakdown of what happened, and I actually read the chapters myself, is that they only used the first 40 chapters. They glossed over, or they like left 40% out. So a good portion of those 12 episodes that we're gonna get is going to be the fill in that void, but it's like solo leveling, and there's probably like one or two other ones that are getting their adaptations. They started as webtoon comics, so it's all the progression of where it could go. And when you think of um, like non Japanese anime, I think Code Lyoko first, because that's a French anime. And besides that last fifth season, they actually brought Code Lyoko back to Netflix because it wasn't on for a little while. They brought it
Yeah.
back, and I'm like, I gotta do it justice and actually watch it, because I know like I'm missing a whole bunch of episodes. But
Oh,
it's
Lyoko Evolution. That's actually what they call it. Evolution. Oh, live
Evolution, yeah.
action too, guys.
Yeah, it was split
I gotta
between
watch
live
it too.
action and CGI, but they don't have that last season on it, so I think that they're just gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna ignore that. The show
But
ends season 4.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
I gotta watch it.
yeah. I mean, at least they did Code Lyoko better than what they did for my diehard favorite. All right, and I know it's a French Italian anime. If you know, you know. It was always on Toonsai early in the morning. It was like right after the Three Magical Witches, right, with the
Powerpuff
little
Girls.
dee 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 dee. Then you would hear Winx Club. If you know who Winx Club is, you got an instant pass in my book.
I know
Instantly.
it, I
I
didn't get to watch a lot of episodes. They had a lot of celebrities on there, like Kiki Palmer, Ariana Grande, I believe.
Are
I
we
just didn't
talking
get to.
about the new
uh,
one or are we talking about the original one?
The old one. They had it on the old one, I believe.
They had her on the old one?
Wait, keep talking, keep talking. I know they had her on there. I didn't get to
Like,
watch every single episode.
no, I know that, but I'm saying she I'm thinking about it now, but I'm like, okay, I know for sure in the new one, but like in the old
oh,
one,
Kiki
I'm
Palmer's
talking
pregnant.
about wake up 6:30 in the morning Saturday old one before they released it to Nick. Cause that's where I was like, I'm gonna watch it. I'm already up. It's Saturday.
Yeah,
I got my
she. Oh,
stuff
she was a
together.
part of. She was a main staple cast member. I did
Which
not know
one?
that.
Which one?
Hold on.
Which
It.
power? It was either
I'm gonna
techno.
I'm gonna smack the shit out of you, because I need you to give me a moment so I can
All
find what I
right,
need to find,
all right.
so I can share it and show it to y'all.
Okay.
This.
Yeah.
17 years old, beginning season 2, 18 in season 3, yada yada. Yeah, so that's a character that she did. That's a main staple character. I don't know why this is video's here, but yeah. I mean, we are talking about Dragon Ball, so for them to be showing me like an ad about Dragon Ball, that's actually pretty hilarious. Google, stop listening to me.
uh,
Oh,
I'm
it's on
sorry.
Amazon Prime Video, but I'm probably never gonna watch it. Oh, Elizabeth Giles, Molly Quinn. Oh shit. So a lot of these match Shiverly, damn. These people probably got their cast. Probably got their start on here. Hold on, let me share this one more time with y'all. Elizabeth Giles. Molly Quinn was Bloom. She, if you guys watched Castle,
Hold on, wait.
that's the
Elizabeth.
daughter.
Hold on, wait. Oh
Yeah,
no.
Victorious.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh no.
Um,
Oh no. Oh, ah, shit. I feel bad. I gotta cut my camera. Oh no.
These are actually a lot of great actors that I think.
yeah.
Bruh.
Damn.
No wonder why I was okay.
You have a thing for
So
redheads?
no, not just that. All right,
Hey,
and don't be
fellas,
coming for me like that.
I mean,
But
if the truth fits.
listen, okay, you know what? I do. All right, I admit it. The only one that I just can't stand, honestly, is that redhead in the back. I do appreciate her character, but I do believe Akano is better. Um, but
oh,
when it comes, oh my god,
Wait,
no!
who did
I
she?
thought it was just dead. I thought it was back. Oh my god, bruh. I feel so bad now. You've seen the memes where it's like, when did you realize you were into goth girls or toxic women? And you would always see Jade being
uh,
in.
Sam
It started
from
way
Vindication.
before then.
brother, stop.
It was like way before then. That means I've been in the trenches for how many years then? Because I've been watching that shit
All
since
my
like
life.
damn.
That brother was stop.
Unexpectedly, it was just like,
I didn't even know until recently. Seven Deadly Sins is still going on.
Mm-mm.
it still is.
No, it's
Isn't
not.
isn't the side series on Netflix with their kids? I thought.
Oh,
Yeah, that's like a whole
Oh,
like
okay.
it's an actual um it's an actual continuation of the series,
Oh, okay.
but it's like its own thing, like Baruto. So
Okay.
it's like a massive time skip, and it's called like Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, something like that.
Okay.
just long as it's not like Boruto.
It's not, and because like I've seen some videos, I haven't
So
fully
no
made it through
one
that
year
manga.
filler, because like I
Um,
was trying to get into Boruto again,
Boruto
and
is
then
like less than 20% canon.
yeah, because it's fucking filler. A whole year of filler. I can't like he
Wait.
outdid his father.
So
Not
that
filler. Manga canon.
yeah,
Anime canon.
well, so that's also the thing, is that
Yeah.
they did something wrong with Boruto when you look at Naruto and a lot of other shonen stories and shonen manga, is that Boruto is a monthly manga. So that means that they get 12 chapters a year, roughly. Well, things like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, they are weekly. So they're getting upwards of 52 chapters a year. So 52 chapters to 12 is a huge difference. So not a lot of story is happening, and you have to like wait forever for the next chapter. To me, that's a little bit weird, and to me, that's like going downhill further and further. That's just me, anyways. But I feel like where they are right now and where they're going, I feel like with them, I feel like with the way how technology is, something that I said earlier, we're able to literally connect around the world. That's what's helping to open us up to what is there, what is out and about. Because I think in the next like, this is me personally, in the next like 20, 30 years, the way how things are going, the MCU might die out, and anime and things of that nature will be on the rise, because then they'll be not only taking over the shows, they could like go into the movies, especially with like Black Panther and Black Panther 2 and all these Disney Plus shows where like we're getting more representation from other other demographics, which then help in the longer run of like, hey, this is a possibility, hey, this is here, yada yada.
D Smash. It's an anime. It's an anime. You mentioned Marvel. Stay with me. Have you
D
seen?
Smash.
No, D Smash.
Oh, D Smash. Oh, I heard of D Frag.
Yeah, but like
I gotta look it up.
they always say that before they throw this crystal on the ground, and
Oh,
then one
okay.
of the you know exactly which one I'm talking
Okay.
about.
I think I heard of it. I don't think I actually seen it. I'm gonna be very honest.
I've seen clips of it, but like it's that one anime where they have the Marvel superheroes helping out with the kids and everything. Similar like Digimon, but not.
Okay. But no, I do agree with the point that you said about like in to me actually I feel like within the next maybe next 5 to 10 years, Mom might die out. I know that sounds crazy, but anime has been like even though we know anime's been on rise, like I've been talking about coworkers who never seen anime and just trying to get into it because now it's just more in our face. I would say, like with the pandemic, people started getting on there. Some people think it's a good and bad thing. I'm gonna leave that up to y'all, but pandemic wise, it made a lot of people jump on there, which made shows like Demon Slayer and AOT. In my opinion, AOT, because I feel like AOT is good, but I feel like a lot more people since they got on, pandemic, and it's like one of the first animes ever. That's why they call it a legendary series. I'll say that. I think it's good though. And there's already been like anime within like Marvel stuff before. Like they have an Iron Man anime, X Men anime, and I think they even have a solo Wolverine anime as well for those three. So just the evolution of how it's been as a media, it's been within our Western culture, like evolved in there so much, and in other countries they look at it as like, okay, if you make it in America, you make it worldwide, which is kind of crazy, but it is true to most cultures. But the real reason why I said five, maybe even less than 20 years, 5 to 10 years, is because if you look at how the MCU now is, a lot of people have been feeling more fatigued. Like they're forced to watch these shows. Like I would have watched every single Marvel show besides what is her name? The Marvel.
Oh,
Malachi.
Captain
Miss,
Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
yeah, Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is the only Marvel show I haven't seen, and a lot of people are like 3, 4 shows behind because it's built. These shows are building like a smaller picture, but it's leading up to like Secret Wars, which was coming in 2026, and it's just like okay, it's a grind. You know when you play a video game and you're trying to get your character to like level 99 or level 100, and it's gonna take you like at least 100 something hours to complete. All these people have so much to do in their day to day lives. They're feeling like, oh, I have to watch a show that's gonna take either my time each week, or I have to binge all of these shows at once just to get some small picture for a movie that's only gonna take 2 hours of my time. Versus this is gonna take months of my time or weeks of my time. And just that grind alone is making people like, should I really keep up with all these shows and it's just making them lose interest? Versus with like let's say you want a quick anime, 12 episodes, go at your own pace, boom, 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 you're done. Versus like Marvel, you gotta watch this to make sure you get the full picture for this. Yeah, and I'm mainly talking about like long time fans. The short time fans, they ain't gonna care. They gonna watch the movie if they feel like watching the movie. But if you lose those long time fans, them
It's
short time
over.
fans, their short time fans not gonna last that long either. Then if you lose those long time. And that's what a lot of companies don't realize. And I think since we get anime quicker, because I remember watching anime on YouTube. Since we get anime way quicker, it's just like okay, it satisfies like the junk food urge. I'm gonna get this whenever I feel like it, and I'm gonna keep watching whenever I feel like it. But when I want to stop, I'm gonna stop. And I think that's the difference.
The moment you said something, it made me think of that guy that was like, show me your anime watches. I'm like, you make all anime motherfuckers look so bad right now.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, let me see the collection. No,
Mm.
shut up, because you make all of us look bad. Go take a shower and hop off the internet for a hot second. And,
See,
like,
and that's why we started
like,
this
don't-
You
thing.
gotta make it like that. You gotta start it like that, bro.
yeah.
We
No,
started the episode with that. It has to.
But it's like the reason why that gentleman really irritated me was like, damn, like you're being a gatekeeper onto something that there's no need for it, especially with like how people can consume content right now. Now is the time to be like, hey, I wouldn't suggest this, I'd suggest that first, right? So if I'm gonna show someone something, right, I'm either gonna show a classic that I know is going to be loved by all, or I'll start you off on something small and that way you can work into those larger forms of content like AOT, Demon Slayer. Even though I don't like Attack on Titan, that's just me personally. Um, I'd rather show like newer, smaller things before showing something like One Piece, JoJo's, Dragon Ball, because they're just so long and it could be so daunting. But if you're like, hey, I know that, like, I have five, like, 12 episode anime for you to watch. Here you go. And they're like, oh, that's like they'll think that that's great and amazing. You're like, no, no, no. I'm literally handing you the appetizer, so that way I can hand you the 7 course meal, and that I feel like is something that works in like the world of consuming media, right? And the like icon status, because you'll see like in smaller things like Reincarnated as a Slime, where they pay homage to Dragon Ball. In Jujutsu Kaisen, though, it's currently only one season. Season 2 is gonna come next year. Woo! Y'all not ready for Shibuya? I know this. I've read it. Like Paul Mooney, I've seen it. I've read it. Um,
You
it's
said
really
don't cite the dark magic to him because he was there when it was written.
basically what mutual it was Kratos Too Hungry. He was like, man, you need to read, if you love the anime, you should read the manga, and you're not gonna be ready for Shibuya. I was like, fuck you, man. So I go and I read it. I was like, man, I was not ready for Shibuya, not at all. It was ooh. But it's all like the starting slow, then you can get up to that. I feel like, sorry, I'm saying a lot right now. Pacing yourself right can get you to that icon status, can get you to where you need to be. So in essence of the consuming media, start small and then work your way up, and then you'll actually understand, because you'll be seeing all these like cameos and these Easter eggs thrown all, and you're like, yo, what the hell is this? What is, like, a Kamehameha? And then you be like, oh, this is Dragon Ball. It's from here. It's from the 80s, and then it's just like a whole other world for you to dive into, like Trey Songz. There we go. Don't
I
don't
had
don't let me
to.
be here without no reaction to that.
I had to think about it. It was a little bit time delayed.
Thank you guys so much for sticking around. This was a great episode, an amazing episode, and honestly, we couldn't have wished for anything else. If you're still here, don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias. We will be posting more often, and don't forget we are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. So with that being said, thank you guys so much. Till next time, peace.